What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. And I'm making this channel today. Just starting our new adventure of Daddy-Daughter Day, on how hard it is to be a single parent, the perks, the benefits of it, and also just trying to build a community of single parents who are going through the same thing as me. This is Avelina right here. Obviously she's sleepy, you gotta wake her up to go to preschool. She's 2 years old. My name is Justin, and I'm just documenting our journey in the vlogs. You're gonna get to know me a little bit better as I explain where I came from, how I got here to be a single dad, and yeah, so stay tuned. Let's go. All right, guys, we just got done with our morning routine. Woke her up, got her out of bed, got her changed, and now we're ready for preschool. Basically in the morning when I wake her up, I let her go on TikTok. Obviously she has her own TikTok. Let her go on there for about, maybe 15 minutes as I get her dressed. I do recommend you parents do not, I repeat, do not let them have more than an hour of TikTok a day, because they soon become addicted and they want it more and more, and then they cry and cry and cry until you give it to them, which is not a good idea. But yeah, that's our running routine. Now we're headed to preschool. It's okay, baby. And we'll catch up with you guys once we get there. All right, everybody, so we just got done dropping off Ava at preschool. Now we're headed back to the house. Unfortunately, right now I'm unemployed due to some certain unfortunate circumstances. The job that hired me wanted me to work certain hours, and obviously I can't work the certain hours they want me to work due to me having the baby. So they decided to let me go, which is okay. It's in God's will, God's plan. I know that God's gonna take care of us, so I'm not too worried about it. There's always ways of working around that and making money as a single father. Probably gonna pick up with some Instacart next week as well. And then, yeah, so we're headed back to the house now. We're gonna touch base on where Ava's mom is at, the custody and court battle that me and her went through, and how I became a single dad and all the juicy stuff. So you guys stay tuned. Also, we're gonna pick up with some gym activity. I feel like it's very important to go to the gym as a single parent to keep your mental health at its full capacity. So yeah, guys, we'll pick up once we get back to the house. What's up, everybody? Just got back to the house. Just wanted to touch base with you guys regarding how I met Ava's mother and how I got to the point that I am today as a single dad. So let's get into it. So I met her mom back in 2022, back in my partying days when I used to go out a lot. I met her at a bar, and I didn't really think anything of it, just got her number and stuff like that. We got each other's Snapchat. Later on, like maybe like 2 weeks later, she hits me up and she says, "Hey, what's up, cutie?" And I'm just like, "Hey, what's up?" Just a casual conversation. She wanted to chill, so obviously I went and I picked her up. We hung out for that night, came back to my house or whatever, did the business. Obviously, I did not use protection, or else Ava would not be here today. And about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks later, I had seen her on Snapchat posting videos of her with some random guys going to Las Vegas, hanging out, just doing crazy stuff. So I didn't think anything of it, but a month down the line, she hits me up and tells me that she's pregnant. Obviously, I didn't believe that it was mine because I hardly even knew the woman. And so she said, "Okay, well, I know it's yours, and if you don't want to be a part of the baby's life, you don't have to be." And basically at that time I had told her, if it's mine, I'm more than willing to take responsibility and take care of my child. But yeah, we didn't really stay in too much contact after that. She would hit me up here and there during the pregnancy, just, reiterating how everything was going. And that was cool, that was fine. And come to find out, after she got pregnant, she had moved to New Mexico with her grandparents. and she stood out there with the baby after she had the baby for about 6 months. Now during this time, I tried and tried and tried. I wanted to see the baby so very, very badly, but she didn't allow me to. I tried to set up scheduling for me to go out there to see the baby. She did not want me to be anywhere near her or anything like that. So I told her, at this point, I feel like I should take you to court. And if we go to court, I'm gonna fight for, partial custody of the baby, so that way I'm able to see her. And her reply was, go ahead and do whatever you have to do. And I said I would. So a little bit longer down the line, she comes back to Denver and she tells me, hey, do you want to hang out? And I'm thinking, yeah, we're gonna hang out. She's gonna have the baby with her. So she comes to my house by herself, whatever. And we're just talking about the baby and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, I want to see her. Is it possible I could see her? So she says yes. We go and get the baby. They both spend the night at my house. That moment, I just knew that Ava was mine. I just had a funny feeling that she was a 100% mine. You just have that attachment with your child that the world just comes to a stop and you realize, hey, this is my baby and I have to do whatever I have to do as a parent to take care of her. So time goes by. About a week later, she goes back to her dad's house and I'm like, hey, can I see the baby for the weekend? At this time, she doesn't know I have a paternity test, just to make sure that Ava was mine. Obviously, I felt in my heart and I knew she looked exactly like me. I almost 100% knew that she was mine, but I just wanted to make sure on the safe side that she was. So I do the paternity test once I get her on the weekend that I'm supposed to get her. I send it in. And let me just let you guys know, during that weekend, it was so fun. We went out, we had a blast with Ava. Everything was great. But Sunday comes along and it's time to, give Ava back to her mom. Our weekend has come to a close and she's nowhere to get hold of. Okay, and this happens for about 3 weeks. By that time, the Amazon test comes already back and it's positive. So I know she's my baby. So those 3 weeks, she doesn't hit me back up. She doesn't say anything about Ava. And I'm just like, I'm blowing her phone up. I'm like, hey, do you want Ava back? Like, what's going on? At this point, I just hit my limit. So I go down to the courts to file for custody. So I filed for custody paperwork and all this stuff, and it sets up a custody case date for whatever date. I don't remember the date exactly of when I have to go and show up for court, obviously for a court case battle. And during this time, she had like no contact with the baby, so she basically just left her with me. She doesn't even know if I'm the father or not. Obviously she thinks that I am. She looks like me and all this good stuff, but we never even got a DNA test. She doesn't even know what type of person I am. It's just crazy to me how somebody could do that with their baby. But anyways, long story short, she tries to come to my house with the police, and the police basically tell her that she has no rights to take the baby away from me because we have no custody court case or parenting schedule in place. So when she comes to my house about a month and a half later trying to get the baby back, which is crazy to me, they tell her no. And she gets highly upset, whatever. So she promises on everything that when we go to court, she's going to take the baby from me and she's never going to let me see the baby again. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, well, you have a little bit, animosity towards me, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, she's my child too, and I'm going to fight for her. So we go to court for a couple times. We get a temporary parenting schedule in place to where she gets Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the baby. On Thursday, she returns the baby to me at about noon. and I get the baby from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then she gets her back Monday. Now, as this parenting schedule was in place, there is just no way that she is following this parental schedule at all. She's missing days. Come to find out, she's dropping off the baby with her grandparents. She's not even taking care of the baby. So we go back to court again. Basically, at this time, I tell the judge, she's not doing her motherly duties as a parent. She's dropping off the baby when she's supposed to have her. She's doing all this stuff. But then the judge is like, okay, well, let's do this instead. We're gonna give her parental visits with a family member every other weekend. So she has to be supervised by a family member. So this goes on for about 2.5 to maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months at max, that she's getting these supervised visitations. And she's not taking care of the baby again. She's dropping her off with family members. Come to find out, the grandparents have her. She doesn't even know where they don't even know where Salissa's at when I'm calling her, and I'm calling her phone over and over again because I'm the type of parent that wants to check up on my baby like every 5 hours just to make sure everything is good, everything's all right. At this point, I already had Ava full time, so doing my fatherly due diligence as a father and making sure everything's okay with Ava. So whatever, months go by and stuff like that, and I finally got fed up with it to the point where she dropped off the baby with the grandparents during her supervised visits when she's supposed to have a family member watching her. And she did not even come back for the baby. The baby was with the grandparents all the whole weekend. I didn't even know about it because I'm calling her. She's not answering her phone. And so finally the grandparents accidentally text me and were like, hey, Salissa, you need to come back and get the baby. At this point, I was furious. Okay, guys, like, you don't even know, like, I was hot. So I called the grandparents and I'm like, hey, you need to return the baby back to me immediately, or I'm gonna call the police on you because you don't have no rights towards this baby. This is my baby. And they refused to give the baby back to me. So what I did was I called the cops, I showed them the parental schedule, and they basically told the grandparents, hey, if you don't return the baby, you're gonna get kidnapping charges against you. So they bring the baby to District 4 police station where I had to meet to get my baby back. At this point, I was just fed up and done with everything. I had come to a point in my life where I'm just like, hey, if Salissa doesn't want to be a part of Ava's life, then we need to go back to court and get this settled for sure. So we go back to court. She misses the first court date. And the judge is still lenient upon it. He gives her some sort of, I don't know what it was, visitation rights, again, with a family member, which I didn't agree upon because she's already missing days doing all this crazy stuff. And she continued to do the same thing. We went back to court once again for the last court date. She missed again. And finally the judge, said, hey, enough is enough. We're gonna make her have 2 hours of visitation every week with a supervised counselor at this point, where she has to pay in order to see Ava. So everything was going good for about a month. She wasn't missing days. And then once again, she started missing days. She would miss, maybe once a month. And then it became twice a month. And this went on for about 3 months. And then now, as of recently, she missed about maybe 3 days out of the month. And remember, she only gets to see her once every week. And it's to the point now where we're going to be going back to court for Ava once again on the 25th. And I'm going to have to talk to the judge and just let him know, I don't feel that it's right that she is missing parenting time with Ava. And, if she can't handle that as a mother and do her due diligence as a mother and be there for her, then obviously she shouldn't be in her life. So I'm going to tell the judge, let's try once every 2 weeks. If she can't do that, once every month. And if she can't do that, then obviously the judge is going to have to come to his own conclusion, because at the end of the day, I don't find that that's right at all. So Basically, her mother has been a deadbeat in her life ever since 6 months. And I don't even believe during the first 6 months she even took care of the baby. I do believe the grandparents took care of her because that's who she was living with in New Mexico. Now, I do want Ava's mom to be in her life. I'm not, trying to hold her back from her life. I want her to be in her life. I want her to be a great mom. Ava deserves that. But at this point, I feel like she needs to take a break away from Ava to figure out what she really wants in her life. I know as a parent, I don't have the luxury to miss days. When I'm sick, when I'm tired, I'm here to take care of Ava. And that's my main priority and my goal in life. That's my purpose. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do that. So yeah, guys, that's just a little bit of a story and a rundown of how I got to become a single dad. Right now, we're still going through court custody battles. We'll go back on the 25th. And so wish me luck. And we're going to go from there. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to share my story with you to know that you're not alone. Everybody goes through a lot of stuff in life. And it's just how you want to progress in life and become better. And, use that pain as fuel. God's always here with you. Pray to him, pray for better days, and he's going to guide you and he's going to carry you through that storm. So just wanted to touch base on that with you guys, and I appreciate all the support and love. And we're going to pick up once we go back to the gym. I'm going to let you guys know once we pick up Ava, and then later on our afternoon routine. When we come home, we eat dinner. And maybe we might even take her to the park and stuff like that. So. But I really appreciate the love and support. And if you guys, like this kind of content and you support me, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for everything, guys. I really appreciate it. Alright, guys, just got to the gym. About to go pick up Ava, obviously, after this. Was going to take her to the park, but it looks like it's raining. So, looks like that's a no-go for today. But we're going to go home, cook some dinner, just chillax, relax, and set up for the night. I just wanted to touch base with you guys about going to the gym and your mental health as a parent. It's very important to release certain amounts of negative energy in the gym. Also, it's good for your mental health, your anxiety, and your stability as a parent to become better and become the best version of yourself. So I just wanted to say that so that way you guys, motivate yourself to go to the gym. It's very good for you and it helps your parenting skills. But that being said, I'm about to hit this weights. Today's leg day, and after I'm done, I'll be back with you guys. So, peace. All right, guys. So I just got out the gym, picked up baby princess back there. Say hi. Say hi, baby. Da. Okay. Well, anyways, guys, I appreciate all the love and support. If you like this content, please do smash that like button for all the single parents out there. Keep on striving. And that being said, till the next time, guys. Peace.